When I started Samurai Champloo, I didn't expect it to remind me of one of the last days I spent with my best friend, or how easily people drift away before you realize it. The year was 2020, and unknown to me, I was going to spend time with my childhood best friend for the last time. The end of 5 years of almost daily time together. That day, we were riding mountain bikes like we usually did, and being one of the final days of winter, right after the last snowfall finally melts, our bikes emerged from dormancy. He wanted to do something extraordinary. He was going to jump the biggest jump on trail, one I would not even touch. I sat up on the ridge to watch him hit this jump, and the moment he got in the air, it felt like time froze. He had way too much speed. I watched him hurl over the landing and fly towards the ground. I was sure he was going to crash, that this is how the day would be remembered, but instead, he landed, and we kept riding, laughing the whole time. We finished the ride, said goodbye, and went our separate ways. That next week, COVID shut down schools, and this was the final nail in the coffin for an already fade-eating friendship. I did see him again during those last few years of high school, but by then, the time spent apart was too much. We had become strangers to each other. Alright, at this point you're probably wondering how this all connects to a goofy, hip-hop infused samurai anime named after a rice dish, and that's what I'm here to unpack, slowly and maybe a little out of order. Our story begins with an unlikely trio. Mugen, a wild and dangerous fighter, Jin, a disciplined yet melancholy samurai, and Fu, a tea shop waitress with enough determination to reach her goals through sheer will alone. Together they set off, rather reluctantly at first, in search of the samurai who smells of sunflowers. Many times throughout their journey, the group finds themselves drifting apart, and almost every time, a fork in the road marks this split. With each following down their own distinct paths, these simple moments reveal a key thematic element of the show. These three are not on the same path, nor on the same journey. Even when they found each other again, they did not backtrack to reunite. It was through moving forward that they crossed paths once again. It's clear while their paths may intersect and even run parallel for much of the show, they aren't on the same one. We see this idea hammered home in the many people our trio runs across throughout the runtime. People whose paths intersect theirs for just a moment before departing again. Through this, Samurai Champloo introduces another core theme. Just because people are no longer in your life doesn't mean your time spent with them was insignificant. One prime example of this appears early in the show. In episode 9, Beatbox Bandits, where an old gate guard reminisces on his bizarre encounter with the trio 30 years later. Despite the time elapsed and how brief their interaction was, they meant something to him. Just because they're gone from his life doesn't mean they're gone from his memory and his mind. This idea appears again and again throughout the show. Our trio meets people, builds connections, and leaves just as quickly as they came. And while these encounters may seem insignificant, they make up the entire show. It's in these moments that the story is born. We aren't watching to see if this trio reaches their goal. We're watching for these moments of connection. Despite how fleeting they are, they mean everything. While watching the show, I got so caught up in these little adventures, I didn't realize how quickly I was moving through the episodes, how close I was to the end. Hearing Fu reflect my own worries aloud, that the journey was coming to the end, really had an impact on me. Just like these chance encounters that ended so quickly, our time with the trio was coming to an end as well. Despite how short their time together has been, we've already seen profound changes in the cast. By the time the last episode rolls around, Mugen, the selfish and violent rogue we met in the first episode, risks his life for Fu, illustrating for the first time that he cares for something beyond himself. Jin risks his life for Fu as well, having finally gained companions he's willing to fight for. And Fu finally meets the samurai who smells of sunflowers. But when she does, she remarks how it's nothing like she imagined. The reunion lasts only a moment, and that's it. No big payoff, no major accomplishment. Just like that, their journey is over. And to top it off, sunflowers don't have a smell, so the thing they'd been chasing was never really there at all. That's not to say their journey was a waste. Far from it. Just because the destination wasn't climactic doesn't mean their time together meant nothing. In fact, The absence of a payoff only highlights how much the journey mattered. As they say, journey before destination. Through their travels, the trio changed as people and made lifelong friends. Despite their unbreakable bond the trio forms, in the final scenes of the show, we see them once again at a crossroads, each taking their own path. But this time, it feels different. There is no episode 27. There is no season 2 on the horizon. That's it. It's over. We've seen the last of the trio we've grown to love. And just like every other character in the show, just as quickly as we met them, they're gone. And it hurts. Like my friend from years ago, losing people doesn't have to be marked by a climactic moment or a great tragedy. Sometimes we just grow apart. Sometimes paths split. I've seen some talk online suggesting that Samurai Champloo's happy ending spoils the show because the trio survives, and I wholeheartedly disagree. The idea that something must be tragic to be meaningful is flawed. Most of our connections don't end in a dramatic fashion. They drift apart slowly. And that brings about a different kind of sadness. A dull ache instead of a sharp pain, but it's sadness all the same. Through that pain, the final and most important lesson of Samurai Champloo reveals itself. Just because connection ends doesn't mean it was meaningless. Just because someone has changed or drifted away doesn't mean that they weren't important to you back then. Mugen, Jean, and Fu may never see each other again, but that doesn't mean they aren't still friends. They will carry each other in their hearts for the rest of their lives, even if they never cross paths again. We as humans are the culmination of everyone we've ever interacted with and how they shaped us. Just because we can't keep walking the same road as someone else doesn't mean the time we walked together didn't matter. And that sorrow I felt as the credits rolled for the last time is proof of this.